And Jim, as cliche as it sounds, how do the Bears forget all about this one and move things along? Because it seems with young quarterbacks and Justin Fields, he is young. However, this is year 3, but when things go awry, that's when bad habits are really cement in stone.
Well, you can see it. I mean, they weren't coming off the ball at the timing they needed on offense. They weren't on the same page in terms of the snap count. And then once things start to go poorly, I think to your point, Cole, then players start to do too much. Justin Fields then scrambles, and all of a sudden there's a strip or a fumble that leads to a turnover and a quick score for Green Bay. Or you hold on to the ball a little bit more thinking, I'll just wait on this in cut a little bit more. Now it's too late. Quay Walker's got a pick 6, turn into the end zone. So that's why I think it forces players into bad habits because things aren't going well. What we talk about, things starting to snowball, and then you start to do too much as a player. And then everything backfires and everything just starts to compound on each other. They've got to get out of that history because that has been their history and that has to change. And only people that can change that are the players. They have to execute and do those things. And when they know, hey, I'm going to think I'm going to do more and go outside of a play, you've got to be able to pull back the reins a little bit as a player and know that the history is when I've tried to do too much, bad things happen. Justin Fields had 16 fumbles last year. He's already got 1. He's 1 for 1 this year. That's got to stop.
Jim, if you were going into the film room looking to keep things positive, next time the guys all convene, would it be late in the second quarter and then early in the third quarter? That's why you want to keep things positive?
Yeah, I think so. You got to go and, you know, it was a ball game at halftime, right? 10-6, right? It's 10-6. And then they came out and started to struggle once Green Bay scored. And it's like what you brought up in the green room. Oh, woe was me. Here we go again. That's where you got to say, no.
Let's go.
No more. Let's draw the line in the sand. We know we went out and added all these players. Justin has to be the leader. All the leaders from Cody Whitehair to all the veterans on that team. And all the rookies like Darnell Wright that had a couple of rough plays today, pick them up, man. Get everybody together and say, hey, enough is enough. We've got to collectively do this as a unit and take ownership in your team. I had a great conversation during the training camp tour with Christian Kirk, the wide receiver that Jacksonville added from Arizona. Things didn't go well for, obviously, Trevor Lawrence his first year. And they weren't going well early last year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's almost like Doug Peterson had to lead that team to the river to drink, and they finally all did it as a football team where they said, no more. We've got to take ownership of it. The coaches can only coach so much. We've got to go out and make plays. That team made the playoffs a season ago.
Do you think that's because Doug Peterson has that quarterback mentality saying, guys, it's us against the world right now. If we want to make things happen, here's what needs to be done. Is there someone in particular inside of that Bears locker room who can do that?
Yeah, I do. I think they've got great leaders in there. And guys got to take ownership of it. They've added some free agents that have won and been on good teams too. They got to tap into that formula. But at the same time, there's a way, when we always talk about there's a Bears way to do things, and they've got to really create their own culture of who they want to be as a team.